You didn't just happen to hear this message. Something led you here, something deep inside that's been stirring, quietly trying to make sense of what's been weighing on your heart. You've felt it, haven't you? That strange heaviness you can't explain. That soft ache inside that pulls your thoughts back to someone who once felt like home. Even if they're no longer near you, their presence still echoes through your mind, showing up in memories, in dreams, in moments of stillness. You've tried to move on. You've told yourself it's just in your head. Maybe you even blamed your emotions for holding on too tightly. But deep down, you know better. This isn't just about missing someone. It's more than that. What you're feeling is the bond of a soul connection that was never truly broken, just hidden. It's a spiritual thread that still links you together, no matter how far apart you may seem. And this isn't about holding on to the past or chasing after what's gone. It's not about obsession or confusion. It's about seeing what's really going on beneath the surface. Something you couldn't quite name before is starting to come into view. The energy that once stayed quiet is rising now, asking you to notice it, to understand it. This clarity is beginning to take shape. What's been locked in the dark is starting to come into the light. You're being guided to see with your heart, to trust what your soul has been sensing all along. This is a message to remind you what you feel is real. You're not imagining it, and you're not alone in this. The person who still shows up in your thoughts isn't just dealing with everyday pressure. They're carrying deep emotional pain that hasn't been healed. It's the kind of weight that doesn't go away overnight. They keep falling into the same patterns, stuck in a loop they can't seem to break. On the outside, they may look okay, but inside, they feel lost. Their mind won't rest, their heart feels heavy, and they've grown distant from the version of themselves they once knew. Life feels empty, like they're just going through the motions. Even with all that noise around and inside them, their thoughts still return to you. And it's not about wanting something casual or temporary. It's because your presence brings them a sense of comfort they can't find anywhere else. You were calm in their storm, a soft space where their soul felt understood. But now they're not in a space to give or share. They're barely holding themselves together, just trying to make it through each day. They didn't walk away because they stopped feeling something. They pulled away because they didn't know how to carry it all, your connection, their guilt, their confusion. There's regret in their silence. They know they didn't love you the way you deserved. And that truth weighs on them more than they show. But somewhere deep inside, there's still a spark, a quiet belief that healing is possible. That if they can face what they've been avoiding, maybe one day, they'll come back stronger. Not half-present, not full of fear, but whole. Able to give you the love they couldn't before. Even now, in their struggle, that hope still lives in them. And you, your memory, keeps that hope alive. This person isn't just confused or distant, they're caught in something deeper. They're surrounded by a situation or perhaps someone that looks like love, like duty, like something they should stay loyal to. But underneath it all, it's been slowly draining their spirit. They're in a place where they don't feel free. Their voice is quiet. Their choices are questioned. The light inside them has been dimmed, little by little. And somewhere along the way, they started to believe that this is what they're meant to live with. That this is all they'll ever have. It's not that they don't feel you, they do, but they've been taught to block it out. Conditioned to silence that part of them that reaches for something more, something true. But even through the fog, your energy still reaches them. In the stillness, when the world quiets down, your presence finds its way in. Not as a dream or a passing thought, but as something real. You remind them of who they used to be before fear and control took over. You are that voice inside them that says, you were made for more than this. And that voice is getting harder to ignore. You don't just cross their mind, you awaken something, a memory of love that felt real, a feeling of freedom that they haven't known in a long time. You reflect back to them a version of themselves they lost, their true self, the one buried beneath the noise. This isn't about obsession, it's recognition. Their soul remembers you because your energy carries truth. And now that truth is starting to crack through the walls they've built. The connection is still there, and deep down, they know it never left. What's behind their silence isn't coldness, it's fear. A fear of being fully seen. A fear of being too broken to deserve the connection they once felt with you. They've built walls not to keep you out, but to protect you from the mess they believe they've become. But their emotions haven't faded. If anything, they've grown louder. You cross their mind often. You live in the quiet corners of their day, in music, in memories, in those moments when everything else fades and only your presence remains. They want to speak, to explain, to pour out everything they never had the words for. But vulnerability feels dangerous. They fear letting you see the pieces of themselves they've hidden from the world. So they stay quiet, convincing themselves that silence protects you. And yet their heart keeps reaching. Not with words, but through energy, through dreams, through synchronicities you can't ignore. You're still connected, and no amount of distance has severed that thread. They are not in a space of love, they are in a storm of manipulation, a karmic loop that feeds off confusion, guilt, and powerlessness. The environment they're in was designed to keep them small, and your energy, bright, freeing, and true, disrupts that illusion. The karmic presence surrounding them senses your light. It feels the shift your soul brings, and it resists. That's why this person has been pulled deeper into patterns that don't reflect who they truly are. They've been told that choosing you would be reckless, that real love is just a fantasy, that comfort is better than truth. But something inside them is waking up, slowly, painfully, but undeniably. Your connection is showing them the cracks. The veil is lifting. And once truth begins to rise, illusion can't hold forever. Even if they haven't walked away yet, they're starting to see, and that vision can't be undone. If they could, they'd tell you the truth that your absence hasn't made them forget. It's made them remember. That your energy isn't just a memory, it's a presence, a lifeline, a compass when everything else feels lost. You are not just a past chapter. You are the light at the end of this tunnel they never expected to enter. Not because you will save them, but because you represent what's real, what's sacred, what still calls their soul to rise. They know they aren't ready, not yet, but they are trying. Quietly, day by day. Not because they want to win you back with empty words, but because they want to become the kind of person who could stand beside you in truth. They ask only for patience, not promises. They hope you can feel the love behind the silence, that you can trust the bond even in this pause. Because to them, this isn't the end. It never was. This isn't a closing, it's a beginning. This bond you feel is not delusion, it's divine, a soul contract written long before this life. And right now, both of you are awakening, just in different ways. Their path is leading them through darkness. Yours is leading you into deeper truth. You were never meant to wait in sorrow. You were meant to rise in wisdom, to embody love without needing proof, to become your fullest self, not in longing, but in wholeness. You are the light that calls to them, the lighthouse, steady in the storm. And when they return, if and when the divine deems it time, it won't be as someone who needs saving. It will be as someone who finally remembers who they are, and who you've always been to them. Let your heart stay open. Let your spirit remain grounded. Trust that this love, this bond, this connection is unfolding exactly as it was meant to. Not rushed, not broken, just deeply, divinely timed. You are not forgotten. You are not waiting in vain. The story is still being written, and love will always find its way home.